Turnovers. 18 turnovers for 19 points.
And turnovers had been something you guys have been doing a lot better job at lately, but what kind of was the issue tonight?
Live ball turnovers. A lot of times we're getting them, just where we get a flow going, and 18 turnovers for 19 points. You give them credit for how they came out and played, extra aggressive, extra physical. We knew that was going to happen coming into the game, but we have to have better ball security. We'll be better next game, but understanding that our big thing is that we've got to make sure we take care of the basketball and keep them off of the offensive glass.
You guys have had battles with the Heat before, and understanding the standings implications. Is there just a message that you're going to have to take, the division, take the playoff spot from this team, and understand what it means when you're playing this group?
Our guys understand the implications of this, and so we've got to make sure that for these next games, taking care of home is going to be the important piece that we do.
Franz had 6 turnovers a couple of games ago. He said he had to play better. 7 turnovers tonight from him. Just what is it that's different for him, or has led to those turnovers from your perspective?
Give Miami credit. A lot of times he's getting in the gaps and attacking the basket, and they do a great job of reaching and grabbing. Those were a couple of them, trying to make the right pass, right play, but they got their hand on his hand and a lot of arm and a little bit of ball, and so he's getting down to the gaps like he did against Detroit and did the same exact thing, but still didn't shoot any free throws. So those are things that we'll have to continue to look at as he attacks the basket, drawing contact, but then obviously that whistle doesn't always go your way.
What do you think needs to happen for Cole Anthony to look more like himself as he did earlier in the season? Obviously he's been battling injuries and whatnot, but what do you think needs to happen for Cole to see better production on the court, I guess?
I think he continues to work. Guys continue to trust him, get him the basketball in his spots, finding that rhythm as he continues to attack the basket, being as aggressive as he's always been.
As you get kind of close, as the season progresses, you get closer to those playoffs. How do you make sure that guys, are hunting, looking for those fouls, but if they don't get that contact, staying in the game? It felt like there's a lot of times where heads drooped, or guys stayed on the floor maybe a hair longer than they needed to try and sell a call or get a call.
Well, I think it's just continue to keep our poise. We always understand, that you can't control those things and whether the whistle blows or not. And so you've just got to continue to attack the basket with the same aggression, but also understanding that, there's spray outs available, on time, on target passes. Again, you can't control the whistle. You just have to continue to play through. And our guys, in those moments, it can become that frustration and sometimes, but our guys are doing a great job for the most part of continuing to play through.
Markelle hit his first 3 tonight of the season. Just what can that do for his confidence as a shooter?
I think we talked about all our guys being able to just step in and knock the shots down. If you're open, shoot the basketball. Your feet set, knock down. Paolo and Franz, and they create a lot of mismatches on the backside. So if those guys are playing in rotation and they're not closing out, step in and take the shot.
Markelle was obviously out for a long time. He's been getting himself back into rhythm. Mm-hmm. What have you seen in his progression to getting back in, and what does he mean for this team being out there?
His ability to push the pace. He got his hand on a lot of basketballs with deflections, getting into the ball, mixing in over and unders in the pick and roll, being disruptive. I just think his ability to continue to push the pace with this group, to play a little faster, but also defensively, his ability to help rebound the basketball and get out and go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think offensive rebounds killed us. I think their pace and transition. Another thing that led to buckets and our turnovers as well. So I think it was a mixture of all 3 of those things that combined to them going on a run, and also just them being more physical, playing harder in that time and period. So gotta go back and actually look to actually get a feel of what really happened. But in my opinion, I feel like that was kind of the biggest thing that I kind of noticed.
Playing a team like Miami, who's obviously known for being physical, do you feel like at this stretch of the season, they're a team that you want to play in these moments to kind of understand what playoff basketball will be all about?
Absolutely. We always look forward to playing. Miami, it's almost like a robbery, but like you said, they play physical. We know what to expect. And we came out pretty slow and it hurt us, but you got to chalk it up. Get ready for this homestand and go win some games at home.
Obviously, there's still 30-plus games still to go, but understanding the standings implications of this game particularly, does that make this loss sting a little bit more? Does that tell you that, even in this division, even with the Sin State rivalry, that this is still a team that we have to climb over to get where we want to go?
It definitely stings, but I feel like every game, in the NBA, it's hard to win in this league. So, again, coming in every night, we got to stay focused and play a full 48 minutes of basketball playing the right way, and we can't come out and start like that and expect to, fight our way back in, So, again, we got to learn from our mistakes tonight, but don't think our heads too much, We got another game. That's the other good thing about the league, We got a game coming up, but, again, it's a lot to learn from this game.
Obviously, you're confident as a player, but for you to hit your first 3 of the season tonight, just to see the ball go through the net from distance, what can that do for you?
It's huge, man. Like I said, I believe in my work. I believe in the ability that I have, and as the games keep going on, I know I'm gonna continue to get better and better. Continue to find my spots. But it's a big time for me. Again, I believe in the work and in the process, and the results will eventually start happening.
How would you summarize this road trip?
Long, but we came out 3-2, so that's a positive about it. And we get the chance to go home and reset and have a couple games before All-Star break, and you just got to make sure we lock in, man. Don't look too far ahead, taking one game at a time.
Thursday's the trade deadline. Is that in the back of your head at all?
Hell no. I ain't worried about that, man. I've been through so much in this league. I just focus on the controllables, and while I'm here, I'm fully invested, and whatever happens, happens. But, I stay in the moment. I control what I control, and I go out there and compete.
Markelle, just before we go here, you're out with the injury for a pretty long while. You're starting to get yourself back into rhythm. Do you feel yourself kind of getting back to where you were maybe before the season began, before the injury really took over?
Absolutely. Like I said, I think every game I'm just going to continue to get better, but I think my main focus is just making winning plays, man. I don't think that it's – I think a lot of people get caught up on shooting and he's not doing this, that, and third, but I know I impact the game in many different ways, whether that's defensively, whether that's, cheering my teammates on, whether that's, just diving on the floor for a loose ball. So I'm just going to go out there and be a winning player, man, and contribute to winning and try to help my team win in any way possible.
Within 5 there early in the third quarter, and then Miami went on that big run. What allowed the Heat to gain control the rest of that period?
I think they just made a lot of shots, defended it well, and they just wanted it more, it seemed like.
You guys are known yourself for being a physical team. Miami's also known for being a physical team. Of course, playoff basketball is all about being physical. Do you feel like at this juncture of the season, playing an opponent like them to kind of gain a greater understanding of what playoff basketball is all about is a good thing for you guys?
Yeah, it's just always, good to get to go against a high-level team like them in this point of the season. Guys playing harder, it's more physical, higher competition, I feel like. So, yeah.
Beyond tonight, what can you take away from this 5-game road trip? You go 3-2 on it, and you have some good moments and bad moments. What can you take away from this 5-game road trip as you move into, eventually the All-Star break?
We gotta be better. Went to San Antonio, blew a 25-point lead, barely snuck that game out. Went to Detroit, kind of messed around. Luckily, Franz went off for 38, kind of barely snuck that game out. So, we're 3-2, but we gotta be better. So, hopefully we come these last 4 and before the break and play harder.
Obviously, there were some standings implications to this game that may or may not play out as the season goes on. But what does playing a team like Miami and understanding that they're kind of the standard of the division or of the group that you're kind of competing against right now, what do you have to do to kind of get over that hump against them or as the season continues on?
I think just learning from losses and trying to just turn it into a positive. They're a well-coached team, well-oiled machine, and we've had some good battles with them. Today they got the better of us, but I think it's really about us right now.
I remember when Franz was out, you mentioned before that there were times where you could just kind of hand it to him and say let him do his thing. As he's progressed since his return, what have you made of his play and the way he impacts the team?
Yeah, he's just the same. He's always been, great presence with the team. We always want him to be aggressive, play his game, and he's huge for us. We need him.
Markelle's been back in the lineup now for a little while. It seems like he's starting to get himself kind of back to where he was last year and maybe in the summer. What's his importance to this team, especially the way maybe he kind of helped guide the team through that early part of the game?
Yeah, I mean, Markelle's been great. He's been great, pushing the pace, defending, always talking. He's been great, really. So always good to have him back, and we're gonna need him as well, always to play his game and be aggressive on offense and defense. Because when he's doing that, we're at our best.